we get started, Tara, are we on?
Yeah.
I am going to present the supervisor of the day with a certificate award of appreciation from myself and the town board to recognize you for your work as supervisor of the day here. So why don't we all stand up and your parents can get a picture of you. You can hold that for the supervisor of the day.
You want to fold it over?
You can open it, that's a good idea.
There you go.
He's going to. All right? All right. Good? All right, Supervisor. You're going to call the meeting to order. We can put that, so just fold that over and put it right under here. As you bang the gavel, call the meeting to order, and you got to do the pledge, right? Say the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag's over here. Ready?
Okay.
Over this way. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do we have Reverend Larry for the invocation? I don't see him. Would anybody like to do the invocation today? I don't see anybody that's volunteering. Okay, so we're going to dispense with the invocation now. Aiden, this is a special treat. See that dog right there, Sasha? Sasha is out front. Would you like to bring Sasha in to show off to everybody, and maybe they will take her home to adopt him? Would you like to do that? You have to say yes. Yes. Okay, come on, let's go see Sasha. We go down front to meet him. Her. Sasha. Jim? Oh, can you read it?
Sasha's very excited. She loves playing with that dog.
Well, what we know about Sasha is that she's a sweet, loving girl who is good with children, as we just saw, is well behaved, and she likes most other dogs. She had a rough start and is now ready for her new home. And for more information on this beautiful girl, please call the Rivet Animal Shelter at 369-6189, extension 2.
Aiden, you have a dog? Oh. All right. We didn't tell you. That's the prize today. It's a very, very well-behaved dog. So.
She's about 4 years old. When she came in through actually a city shelter, a Highfield shelter, her and her brother we transferred out a day before they were going to be euthanized for space. And she's obviously a sweet dog and needed a second chance, so we decided to give it to her. Her and her brother were both about 30 pounds when they first came in. She's now about 65 pounds, and her brother's closer to 80. So they were both very, very thin, and they were found running loose together. And like I said, they needed a second chance.
That's all muscle right there.
All muscle.
50, that's all muscle.
Wow.
I'm sure. I think she'll take to that.
I know.
That'd be great on the farm, George.
All right.
You don't need scarecrows. That's
All right, Aiden, let's get back to business. Got to keep things moving.
I just rescued one up there. I tell you, I love it. I love that dog.
Okay.
Sal's not here today.
So can you ask for a motion to approve the minutes? Say, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the town board minutes of October 21st, 2014. So moved.
And seconded?
Now you say moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Moved in second and vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The minutes are approved.
Oh, you should say yes.
Yes.
I should say Tobin. I said Walter, but I should have said
The
Tobin,
Supervisor
right?
Tobin, that's right.
That's right.
Okay, can you ask the town, you know what that word is? It's a big one. Correspondence. Ask the town clerk if there's any correspondence.
Is there any correspondence?
There's actually a lot of correspondence.
Thanks for asking.
There are 13 letters from residents urging the continuation of municipal services to private roads. A petition continued from additional property owners of Main Road east of Route 105 in opposition to being placed on national and/or historical registries. A letter from Angela DeVito with the Landmarks Commission, a letter of support regarding the application to establish a historic corridor on the Main Road. Food Industry Alliance of New York State, letter opposing the proposed ban on plastic bags. Tina Taborski, letter expressing concerns about flyboarding operations at Treasure Cove Marina. Wading River Civic Association, letter regarding the special permit petition of United Riverhead Terminal to store gas at the Northville facility. Group for the East End, letter regarding the special permit petition of United Riverhead Terminal. Peter Danowski, a letter regarding code amendment for solar power arrays. Carolyn Zink, Esquire, letter regarding Town of Riverhead wetland law and excavation law in relation to property at Sound Shore Road. Also, Conservation Advisory Council correspondence, and this is in regard to resolution, CAC Resolution 20 of 2014 regarding the Riverhead Yacht Club. Applications, the Riverhead Lions Club has submitted an application for their annual Christmas Parade and Assembly on December 7th. Under reports, the sewer district submitted their discharge monitoring report for September. Building department submitted their monthly report for October, and that was $232,551.71. Town clerk monthly report for October, $13,143.10. And that's it.
Okay, could you ask the town board if they have any reports? Just ask the town board, do you have any reports?
Town board, do you have any reports?
No, but thanks for asking.
I have one.
Brad, he didn't sound that enthusiastic anyway.
I just want to say, the Pole Festival, we had a nice parade on Friday, and most of the stuff was indoor on Saturday, the day it rained, so that was okay. So I think this weekend came out very well for the first time we had this festival, and I hope we have it in years to come.
I agree. Ray Coyne, not the wrong Ray. Ray Pickersgill, Jill, the deputy. I mean, Dan McCormick, Chris Kempner. Great job. Thank you guys.
Okay, I'd like to make one. The Chris Witt, who's a local Riverhead young man, had the Long Island Venture Race out at EPCAL, which was very successful. He said to me, well, I'd like to donate some money to the town. So I said to Chris, our playground equipment over at Pulaski Street School is really coming apart, and we're really tight on the funds. So I would like to announce that Chris Witt wrote out a check for $6,000 to the town of Riverhead to put towards new playground equipment at
Did you say
Stotsky.
Pulaski Street School?
Stotsky, sorry, Stotsky.
I was like, wait a minute.
Pulaski Street.
We love it.
There's town municipality.
All right, clap. That's good. We're
That's
getting a
good.
new
We got
playground.
6,000 towards the Stotsky Park. On Pulaski Street.
Oh, Pulaski Street.
There you go.
Can
You
you
want to go?
also add about the deer hunting at the state park?
I don't really
That
get
they
to
can
handle.
hunt?
Yes, for the bow hunters, deer hunting over at the Wildwood State Park is open November through the end of January.
Good job.
But you have to
Hang on
come
to
in
that.
here to get
So
a
we can put
permit.
it to.
I want to make sure
Oh, no,
it's
the DEC's handling that.
I'm hanging on to this. I want to
George.
make sure it goes into the account.
George, George, the DEC is handling the
The
permit
DEC
process?
is handling the permit process, right.
Right, so
So I think
go to DEC.
the local DEC would be down in Ridge if you want to sign up for bow hunting at the park, Wildwood State Park.
State Park, yeah.
All right, that's over by you. So we were over at the highway yard today, and actually, what was the most fun thing you did today?
Can't think.
Tough one.
It was a lot of fun.
That's it.
Was it drive the excavator? Drive the front end loader? Was that fun? Well, he
Did
got
some
to
good
drive
stuff.
the front, Tobin, Supervisor Tobin got to drive the front end loader. and he asked the highway superintendent for something. He asked me, but I said we were in the right spot for it. What is it that you would like to have done that concerned deer?
I would like to have signs that say
Be careful of the deer when you're driving.
yeah.
Watch out for the deer. So, the highway superintendent said that he would do that. In fact, I think the highway superintendent found the supervisor he gets along with really well, so they had a good time together. They drove around and...
I don't even think that he lets the supervisor
He doesn't let me
drive
in
that
his
truck. So you're pretty special.
All right, so we have to remind the highway superintendent about some signs. If there's no other reports, then we're going to open a public hearing. You ready to open a public hearing? You get to use the gavel. Go ahead. Smack that gavel down. You guys are lucky I don't use that. All right, so we're going to, you're going to open a public hearing for all interested parties to consider the adoption of the 2015 annual budget. So what I want you to say is the public hearing was set for 2:05. Can you say that? Public hearing was set for 2:05.
The public hearing was set for 2:05.
It is now 2:15.
It is now 2:15.
Slam the gavel again. Public hearing is now open to, go ahead,
Public hearing is now open
to consider all comments on the budget.
to consider all comments on the budget.
Okay, there we go. Would anybody like to be heard on this public hearing? All right, not seeing anybody? Go ahead, slam the gavel again. The public hearing is now closed,
The public hearing is now closed.
and we're going to leave it
I like this supervisor.
open
We'll be out of here in 15
for
minutes.
written comment. We have to be careful, the 20th. I'm only going to leave it open to the 12th, so we have the 13th work session. So the public hearing will be, the public comment portion will be held open for written comment only until November 12th, 2014, 4:30 in the town clerk's office. Ready to open another public hearing? We'll slam the gavel again? Okay. The next public hearing was scheduled for 2:10.
The next public hearing is scheduled for 2:10.
2:10 having arrived
2:10 having arrived
and left.
and left.
It is now 2:16.
It is now 2:16.
Slam that gavel again. I'll say this part. Public hearing is now open for the consideration of a proposed local law to amend Chapter 101, it's better, of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Vehicles and Traffic 101-10, Parking Prohibited Ostrander Avenue. Okay, that public hearing is open. John, is this you?
Yes.
What do we got?
This here is, again, during the summertime, we have numerous cars that are parked at the aquarium, but they're parking in front of people's driveways on Ostrander Avenue. So on the east side of Ostrander Avenue, 300 feet north of Corwin Street, to Corwin Street, will be no parking at that 300 feet. So that will alleviate the cars being parked in front of people's driveways.
And I can tell you from living in that area, having those cars parked there is absolutely a dangerous way. You can't pull out of there. You can't pull out of there and head south on Ostrander without really taking your life in hand. So it's good that you free up that intersection, at least for visibility.
Okay. Now you want to ask, does anybody wish to be heard on this matter?
Does anybody wish to be heard on this matter?
Not seeing anybody.
Not seeing anybody.
I close the public hearing,
I close the public hearing
and I leave it open
and I leave it open
for written comments only
for written comments only
to November 14th,
to November 14th,
4:30
4:30
in the town clerk's office.
at the town clerk's office.
Slam that gavel again. He's getting, All right, so now we have another public hearing scheduled, see, 2:15. And the next public hearing is scheduled for 2:15. It is now, what time is it?
2:19.
So you're open the public hearing, go ahead, open the public hearing. Say, I open the public hearing, I'll say the rest, how's that sound?
I open the public hearing
For the consideration of a proposed local law to amend Chapter 101 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Parking Prohibited, Pulaski Street. And I think that's another Councilman Dunleavy public hearings. You want to ask him if he has any comment on that, Councilman Dunleavy? He's right here. Want to ask him if he knows anything about it? Yeah, go ahead. Just say, do you know anything about this, Councilman Dunleavy?
Do you know anything about this, Councilman?
Yes.
Dunleavy.
This is in,
You're doing great.
this is in front of St. Isidore's Church. There's two signs, but they're very confusing. And the curb is painted all yellow. So what we're doing is we're making it no parking in front of St. Isidore's Church between Sweezy and Marcy Avenue, except for funerals and weddings.
Okay, sounds good. Ask, does anybody wish to be heard?
Does anybody wish to be heard?
Not seeing anybody,
Not seeing anybody,
I close the public hearing.
I close the public hearing
And go ahead, slam the gavel. And leave it open
and leave it open
for written comments only
for written comments only
to November 14th.
to November 14th
In whose office? Town clerk's office.
in town clerk's office.
Who's the town clerk? Diane Wilhelm, Mrs. Wilhelm. Okay, we almost need to slow it down a little bit. We're doing like grease lightning here. Really, we should keep them around. All right,
Like it.
so the
you
next
come back in
public
2 weeks?
hearing was scheduled for what time?
2:20,
What time is it now?
2:21.
Slam the gavel and open the public hearing. Say, I open the public hearing.
I open the public hearing
This is for a consideration of a proposed local law to amend Chapter 108 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning Supplementary Use Regulations, Prefabricated Dwellings. Actually, I think Councilwoman Giglio knows something about this. Is this you?
Yes,
Yeah, want to know ask her if she knows anything about this?
Do you know anything about this?
I sure do. So, this public hearing is about temporary trailers that are needed, and if you have a fire and you need a place to live temporarily until you get your house fixed. Right now, the process, you have to go to the Zoning Board of Appeals in order to be able to put a temporary trailer on your property, and this will eliminate that process. It's a $50 fee. You can have 6 months with the trailer and then an additional 6 months if you need it. And that's it. We're just taking out the need to go to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and you can go right to the building department.
Ask anybody if they wish to be heard on this matter.
Does anybody wish to be heard on this matter?
There's a gentleman in the back. Tell him to step up to the microphone. You can tell him step up to the microphone.
Step up to the microphone.
You just give us your name and hamlet for the record, sir.
Peter Mastropolo, Calverton, Foxwood Corporation.
How you doing, Mr. Mastropolo?
I'm doing fine. I have a question on the way this law is written. It states that it is any prefabricated dwelling. How does that play into modular and manufactured homes on private land?
The only thing that we're doing in this legislation is taking out the need to go to the Zoning Board of Appeals. It says the trailer prefabricated dwelling must be for the temporary use and occupation of an individual group or individuals whose residence has either been so damaged by fire or by some act of God as to render the residence uninhabitable.
So then it has nothing to do with a permanent residence?
No.
Not at all.
It's just temporary?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
I have a question also.
Under number 5, it says such trailer shall be permitted to remain on the lot for 6 months with 1 6-month extension upon application of zoning board of appeals. Is that-
Right, that's for the extension.
The main focus was to
Looks like it's-
eliminate C in 10864. Currently, anybody who is looking to build a modular house as opposed to a stick built must go to the zoning board of
Right.
appeals in order to
understand.
have that. So that eliminates
Well, I
the need to
understand
go
the
to the zoning
purpose
board
of
of
it.
appeals. Yeah. So, and then subsections, what was D, now numbered as, or re-alphabetized as C.
Right.
Deals with the temporary situation that Councilman Giglio referred to, which is, it's still, that part is pretty much remain intact. You can go to the building department where you have fire damage and you need to put a trailer up, or a mobile home, I should say.
Just the way it's written, I mean, just the way it's written, it looks like trailer shall be permitted for 6 months with 1 month extension upon applications. It looks like I have to go to ZBA for the first 6 months. Yeah, that's to me anyway, but I could be wrong.
That's interesting.
I would put a comma there or something.
And it also eliminates the zoning board of appeals
I
process for
really-
modular homes that are moved in,
I have
that
a
aren't stick-built.
question too. I think that the word, a prefabricated building, you're going backwards by calling it a trailer. They're manufactured, buildings now.
Yes.
Trailer has been out for years,
Not allowed to call it trailer.
and, I just
Well, our
don't
code
think we
does
should
it
be
in a
going.
number of places.
I don't think we should be regressing backwards instead of going forward.
As a fellow owner of a double wide, I agree
That's
with you.
right. See? Now, I was understanding that this was gonna encompass all prefabricated, dwellings, because we're getting more and more into the town, and they are built stronger than some stick-built homes. And if you look at the ones that are being built, you couldn't tell they were prefabricated. But I think that,
That's what C is, that's taking that out.
just take.
C applies to the modular prefab scenario, so long as you otherwise comply with the
It's,
zoning
yeah.
requirements, and eliminates any need to go for a special permit from the zoning board of appeals. So if you're building, let's just say, for example, a 2,000 square foot house, that instead of being stick built, you're dealing in modular, you no longer have to go to zoning board of appeals for that. I think that the temporary modular unit, I'm gonna be careful not to use the other word that begins with T.
John and I would appreciate that.
Well-
And we could, and I guess I could change the final language to clean that up, because I don't think it changes the substance of it, if you wanna
No, I just think
call it a
I just think
prefabricated dwelling.
it should be prefabricated. Also, there's no more mobile home parks. They're prefabricated parks. There are some names that haven't been
Well, we gotta
changed,
change chapter 79 of our
but
code
there
then.
is,
Well, that's
you know, but that's something different. But I mean, I think we should come up to the modern,
this-
age instead of stay back in
I
the
agree.
50s.
I just wish this was brought up when we were discussing it at work session rather than at the public hearing.
Well, those are
Because now
definitions.
we've
We can
published and
change
posted.
definitions. That's
This is
it.
the way we do it around here.
And it's good, it's a good public hearing because it took us past 2:25, which is really good.
All right, so does anybody else wish to be heard on this subject? Not seeing anybody? Sign that gavel, close the public hearing. I close
I
public hearing,
close the public hearing,
and I leave it open for written comments
and I leave it open for written comments
to the November 14th,
to November 14th,
4:30.
4:30.
And whose office is that? Town clerk's? Town clerk's office.
In clerk's office.
Good job. All right, so we got ourselves right back on schedule here. So slam that gavel again and open this public hearing for 2:25.
I open this public hearing for 2:25.
It is now,
It is now 2:28.
and this is a consideration of a proposed local law to amend Chapter 52 of the Town of Riverhead Code entitled Building Construction Application for Building Permit. All right, let's see what this is.
The sewage.
Oh.
Septic systems.
Septic system. Okay, this this is a new provision of code. Bob, do you want to weigh in on this, or Jody?
Yeah, I had experienced a situation where there was a summer cottage that was on the bay that was being renovated and made into a full-time residence. They were adding a second floor onto the house. They were preparing to finish the house and then sell it. And the sanitary system was, I think, from the 50s or the 60s. So you could actually see water 2 feet below grade where the sanitary system was. It was a 3-foot diameter brick pool. So this legislation will capture those homes where they're looking to make them either full-time residents or do a substantial improvement under the FEMA laws that would require them to upgrade the sanitary system where it currently doesn't. So this will protect our bays and our water bodies and our fishing and our estuaries and all of our tourism. So I felt it was a good thing to bring this legislation forward to make sure that old systems that are not regulated by the health department or by the state be upgraded.
Okay. You want to ask if anybody else wishes to be heard on this matter?
Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter?
I think we have one taker. Ask her to state her name and affiliation for the record.
State your name and affiliation for this matter.
Good afternoon, my name is Jen Hartnagel, and I'm here representing the group for the East End. The group supports efforts to improve water quality, specifically as it pertains to wastewater. We support the town's efforts to try to improve existing conditions, and we also support local government's authority to utilize their zoning and land use authority to impose more reasonable requirements that may exceed other standards set by other agencies. I have a list of questions. We support this legislation, but I do have a list of logistical questions. In section K, does the language intend to capture pre-existing non-conforming uses that may be part of that residential or agricultural use zone district? That's the first one. I have 5 or 6 questions.
I think, well, let's do one at a time. I think it's pre-existing that are going to be renovated. So in other
Yes.
words, if there's not a renovation, it's not applicable. If there's a renovation, then it,
Okay, then, if there was a restaurant in that use district, it would be captured by that.
They're already captured by that. All commercial uses are already automatically sent to the Suffolk County Department of Health Services.
Okay, thank you. All right.
we're batting 1 for 1.
All right. The second one is a little confusing. Is it the intention in section K again to utilize the New York State boundary regulations specified in the Tidal Wetlands Act? Because there's a definition in there which relates to bulkheading and other hard structures, and the bulkheading and hard structures acts as the end to that jurisdiction. So we're concerned that if a property is bulkheaded or it has hard structure, it won't be captured by this legislation.
It will be captured by this legislation. Anything within the jurisdiction of the Conservation Advisory Council within a tidal wetland boundary. So it will surpass the requirements of the New York State DEC with the bulkheads prior to 71. So yes, those homes would be captured even if they were bulkheaded.
Okay. Thank you. On the map that you included, I think this might just be an error. Bob picked this up, but in the legend, it calls the town freshwater wetland 150. It calls them buffers, and the 300-foot buffers. I think it's the jurisdiction or the setback, because they're not actually buffers. So that could be confusing.
Where does it say? Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. No, that's jurisdictional limits. That should say jurisdictional limits.
Okay.
So, Bob, when we do publish this, can we just make a note? That's not a substantial change. That's what it's meant to be.
The fourth item here, we're a little bit confused about how the decision will be made to take further action if the county comes back and says that they're not going to require an upgrade, because the language states the county riverhead may be more restrictive, and so what's the criteria that would trigger the town to require this upgrade? And it seems if it's a discretionary decision, there may be a problem with applicants not having a clear idea of what to expect when they come in for the permit, and that could lead to legal problems.
Right, that is something that was discussed, and I'm surprised Anne Marie is not in here for this hearing, but the building, anytime there is a substantial improvement under the FEMA guidelines, and anytime there is a building permit application that's taken out that's adding another bedroom or adding living space other than what you're permitted to have in the code, you will automatically be triggered over. So that's why it says maybe, because if you're adding a closet, then he's not gonna send you to the health department. But if you're adding a room of substantial size as defined under New York State Building Code, which is what our code is under the umbrella of, is New York State Building Code, if it's anything that's outside of something that's listed in here as permitted, you will be sent.
Okay.
I texted her, if she's here, she'll come.
Okay, so then that brings up the second question. So it's not the intention of this legislation to issue a town wastewater permit or
No.
something?
No, I had a meeting with Walter Hilbert of the Suffolk County Department of Health Services. He said that we can send them there, and they will take the applications, and they will review them, and they will do the inspections and everything, so.
So, but there is a possibility that they can come back and say, well, we're not gonna require you to have the upgrade even though.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think that every application that I've spoken to that, with the health department that's been sent there, even if it's not covered under Article 6 in the sanitary code, they are still requiring them to upgrade them to a current system.
Okay, thank you. And then lastly, we would support legislation being broadened at some point to capture other uses, like restaurants or motels and marinas that have the capacity to produce, obviously, more pollution than the single-family home in these sensitive areas. But we appreciate the town moving forward to, tackle this issue, which is obviously very problematic. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to be heard?
Does anybody else wish to be heard?
Okay, not seeing anyone.
Okay, not seeing anyone.
I close the public comment portion.
I close the public
Comment portion. And leave it open for written comments. Leave it open for written comments
Leave it open for written comments
to November 14th,
to November 14th,
4:30.
4:30
Where? In the clerk's office.
in the clerk's office.
Good job. All right, you moved that right along. That's great. All right, what we do now, Aiden, is we take public comment. We have to go to the resolutions. Now, in this package here, these are all the resolutions that the town is going to maybe adopt today. So why don't you ask if anybody wishes to be heard on a resolution?
Does anybody wish to be heard on a resolution?
Okay, ask them to step up to the microphone,
Step up to the microphone,
please.
please.
I should say that. My wife tells me I should say please and thank you. Does your mom tell you that too? And Dad? Please and thank you? It's a good thing. If you could state your name and hamlet for the record.
If you can state your name and hamlet for the record.
Thank you.
You're doing a good job. My name is Laura Elling, and I live in South Jamesport with my husband Tom, who's here, and our neighbors. We all live together, not together. We all live on Holly Tree Lane.
Which road?
Holly Tree Lane.
Isn't that one of the ones we're taking in today?
We're adopting
We're
that.
taking that in today,
Yes, okay.
unless you tell us no.
No, I'm here to, on behalf of ourselves and our neighbors, to thank you for following through on the resolution to adopt our road and make it a public road. As you probably know and have in your paperwork, I have the copies here. We did follow procedures that the town requires, and we did go before the board. This goes back to June 19th, 2007. And when we left that night, actually, my husband had spoken that night and thanked the board for making Holly Tree Lane a public road in town of Riverhead. And somehow the ball was dropped and it wasn't completed. And we didn't know that until we got a letter just recently from the town telling us that we lived on a private road. And
Shock.
right, that shock. I made the phone call to the highway department and then read in the news review about what the controversy is. So we're not part of that whole controversy. Like I said, this was done. I called Councilman Dunleavy, and we want to thank you personally for your help in bringing this back to the board and thank the board for completing it today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, going to ask if anybody else wishes to be heard?
Does anybody else wish to be heard?
Okay. Not seeing anybody?
Not
Alright.
seeing anybody.
We're going to take up the resolutions.
We're gonna take
I
up
make-
the resolution.
Okay.
Go
I
ahead.
make a motion that we temporarily close the town board meeting and open the community development agency meeting. So moved.
Seconded.
Say, moved and seconded, vote please.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
There you go.
Tobin.
Tobin.
I'm sorry. The CDA meeting is now open.
Okay, CDA Resolution Number 19 appoints the law firm Smith, Finkelstein, Lumberg, Eisler, and Yakubaski as special counsel in connection with the redevelopment of the EPCAL by the Town of Riverhead Community Development Agency and authorizes the chairman to execute a retainer agreement regarding same.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please. That's you.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio,
Yes.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Dunleavy,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The resolution, the resolution is therefore declared duly adopted, and that completes the business of the CDA.
Have a nice day.
I make a motion that we close the CDA meeting and reopen the town board meeting. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
The town board meeting is now reopened.
Diane, oh, excuse me, Miss
Wilhelm.
Miss Wilhelm.
Okay.
You can't call her Diane. Could you ask Miss Wilhelm to take up the resolutions? Miss Wilhelm.
Ms. Wilhelm, can you take up the resolutions?
Certainly. Resolution 746.
746 is Riverhead Highway District Budget Adjustment. So moved.
Unseconded?
That's you. Moved and seconded, vote please.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 747.
Riverhead Police Athletic League Budget Adjustment. So moved.
Seconded.
That's you. Moved and seconded, vote please.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 748.
Public Parking District Budget Adjustment. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution
I
adopted.
like how he just jumps right in. He's,
He's good.
I gotta make sure there's nothing here I don't want passed.
Elbow him when you want to say no.
Resolution 749.
Water district meters, budget adjustment. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 750.
Riverhead Water District Budget Adjustment. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 751.
Plan 16 Treatment System Improvement Project Budget Adjustment. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 752.
Authorizes Abstracts Incorporated to conduct a title and real property search in the Suffolk County Clerk's Office to determine if there is a recorded stormwater drainage easement inuring to the benefit of the town of Riverhead regarding real property located at 4654 Sound Avenue, Riverhead, New York, also known as Suffolk County Tax Map Number, District 600, Section 19, Block 1, Lot 16, and produce such easement if located, and further authorizes the accounting department to pay Abstracts Incorporated a title and real property search fee up to the maximum amount of $700. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 753.
Authorizes Our Place America grant application for water fires. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 754.
To authorize this town clerk to post and publish the attached notice to bidders for Town of Riverhead Water District roof replacement contract. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 755.
Appoints a part-time police officer. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
No.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, this is, not costing the town anything other than a uniform. She's gonna go to the police academy on her own, she's gonna pay for it on her own, and then when she gets finished in the summertime, we can use her at $21 an hour to, help defray the taxes, in the town of River for our police department. So I vote yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 756.
Appoints part-time police officers and places them on a leave of absence. So moved.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
We need a second. Somebody didn't second. They weren't fast enough for you. Can I get a second on that?
Second.
Now you can say it.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
No.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 757.
Grant special use permit petition of North Fork Coffee Company Incorporated. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and
Seconded. Vote please.
moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Sounds like a name,
Resolution
Walter
adopted.
Tobin.
I know it does. 758.
Authorization to publish advertisement for printing of recreation brochures for the Town of Riverhead. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 759.
Bless you.
Awards bid for Dow Flake Extra Calcium Chloride. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Oh, yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 760.
Authorization to publish advertisement for paint for the town of Riverhead. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 761.
Authorization to publish an advertisement for rebid propane for the town of Riverhead. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 762.
Authorizes sewer district employees to attend course. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, this is gonna save the town of Riverhead a lot of money.
Ton of money.
Usually, we have to send them up to upstate New York, or we have to board them and, pay for the food that they eat up there and transportation. This is gonna be held on Long Island. They can go from their house every day to school. We don't have to pay for their lodging. So, this is gonna save the town of Riverhead a lot of money. And they're doing it on their own time. It's at night, so they're gonna work during the day and do this on their own time. So I vote yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Yes, don't move, don't go, Diane. So, we were talking to Supervisor Tobin about the sewage treatment plant and how it comes in kind of looking dark and murky and goes out looking clean. So, Mr. Reichel back there, Superintendent Reichel, raise your hand, Mr. Superintendent Reichel. That's the man in charge of cleaning the poop at the two sewage treatment plants right there.
Oh, my word.
And these, is it 2 or 3 employees,
Right.
we're sending them to school so they can learn to take the dark, murky water and turn it into nice, clean water before it gets discharged into the bay. So see what you did? You helped clean the environment today. And if you have time, you could do the sewer tour. We don't normally do the sewer tour, but if you ever want to, you let me know. Thanks, Diane.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 763.
Incorporation of certain roads into the town of Riverhead's highway system pursuant to New York State Highway Law, Section 189, and its highways by use, and that'd be Flag Hill Drive and Holly Tree Lane. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
The minutes from the hearing in 2004 are attached to this resolution, where it was stated that these two roads were to be taken in, and for whatever reason, they were not included in the resolution. So I'll vote yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yeah, I think we're on Riverhead time. From 2004 and 2007 to now, like lightning we move. Quite a few years. So I just want to welcome these two highways into the highway system and vote yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Oh, you got a round of applause.
Resolution 764.
Adopts a local law to amend Chapter 108 entitled Zoning of the Code of the Town of Riverhead. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Yes. He said yes before I even read it.
Resolution 765.
Authorizes co-sponsorship of weekly Saturday Farmers Market from November 1st, 2014 to May 16th, 2015 with the Riverhead Business Improvement District Management Association Incorporated. Authorizes approval of license agreement with designated farm vendors. Authorized lease agreement with property owners regarding real property located at 221 East Main Street, Riverhead. So move.
A second.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, last year was the first time we did this. We brought a lot of people to downtown to do other shopping and the restaurants. So this, over the winter time, is a great thing for the town to bring people into the town to get serviced by the restaurants and other merchants and the farmers market. So I vote yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
So Councilman Wooten, I just want to, I'm sorry, go ahead, Diane.
Oh, I was just gonna put the next
Resolution
one.
adopted. No, yeah, I'm sorry. The next one, I was telling Supervisor Tobin, this allows Santa Claus to come to town.
Really?
Yeah. You might want to say something.
That's right, see?
Nice.
Resolution 766.
It approves the Chapter 90 application of the Lions Club of Riverhead Incorporated for the annual Christmas Parade and Assembly on December 7th, 2014. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Ho, ho, ho. Yeah.
Dunleavy.
Man, I just want to thank the Lions Club. They've been doing this for over 65 years, this parade, bringing Santa Claus to Riverhead on the first Sunday in December. So if, it's at 1 o'clock, so if anybody wants to come and bring their children, they meet Santa Claus, they get their picture taken with Santa Claus, and I just want to thank the Lions Club for doing this community service for the town. And it doesn't cost the town a lot of money. We give them the showmobile to use and 2 people to run the showmobile. So that's all it costs the town of Riverhead.
Look at a smile on his face that Santa Claus is coming. You got to vote.
That's right.
Okay. Walter Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 767.
Authorize town clerk to publish and post public notice to consider incorporation of certain roads into the town of Riverhead in conjunction with public hearing, and to amend Chapter 92 entitled Highways, Streets, and Sidewalks of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
Second.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes, for public hearing.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter Tobin.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 768.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post a public notice for a local law to consider amendment to Chapter 106 entitled Waterways of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, this is, saying that there's no gas motors on the Peconic River, only electric motors, and they only travel at, less than 10 horsepower. So I vote yes.
Walter. Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 769.
Authorize the town clerk to publish and post a public notice to consider a local law to amend chapter 92 entitled Highways, Streets, and Sidewalks of the town code. So moved.
Second.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter. And Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 770.
It authorizes the supervisor to execute addendum professional service agreement with general code. So moved.
Unseconded?
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yeah, I hope we get our code. It's only been taking years, this company, so
It's town time.
now they want more money. I vote yes.
Walter. Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 771.
Authorize supervisor to execute a second addendum to the professional service agreement for placement of commemorative items at Cumberland Memorial Park. So moved.
Second.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter. Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 772.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a retainer agreement with Mary C. Hartill Esquire for legal services for the year 2014-2015 for the Riverhead Youth Court. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second
We
and
need to make one amendment to the resolution on the next to last resolved. The 431 should be 224, so it should be 224 Griffin Avenue.
Okay. Moved in second and vote please as amended.
moved in second and vote please as amended.
Giglio.
I just want to say something about Mary because she dedicates a lot of her time to the youth of our community and helping them to be productive citizens and to know the difference between right and wrong and what will happen if you do the wrong thing through our youth court. So it's a fabulous program and she does a great job and I really appreciate what she does for our youth in town of Riverhead. I'll vote yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter. Tobin.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 773.
Supervisor Tobin appreciates Mary too.
See? And I guess I'm paying the bills again.
They're,
Pay
got a
bill.
big checkbook.
I'll second the pay.
Moved and seconded.
Moved in second and vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
$4 million, $4.2 million in bills the last 2 weeks. It's a lot, right? $4.2 million? Think of his number. How much it costs to run this town? How much do you think it costs to run this town? It's in the millions. About 90, what, Bill, we all in about 91 million? About $91 million to run this town. That's a lot of money, right? Okay, now for Councilman Dunleavy, he's got it. Now we take comments. Do you want to take comments from the public about anything they want to talk about? Okay. Supervisor Tobin would like to take comments from the public if they'd like to talk about anything. Ask anybody if they'd like to step up.
Would anybody like to step up?
My name is Stephen Clements. I own a property at a house at 89 Morningside Drive. My wife and I bought the house about 2 years ago, and I've spoken to you, Mr. Walter, and to Mr. Kevich about this situation. Let me refresh your memory. Of course, in my deed, I have access to the lagoon across the street. My neighbors, father and son, have absconded the street. It's a street. They've covered the street and blocked the street with bushes so that they prevented my access to the lagoon, which I have the right to in my deed. When I spoke with you, I must say you were helpful and you listened carefully and you were sympathetic, but the claim was that there was nothing could be done because it's a private community. I want you to know that I've tried to settle this peaceably with my neighbor. I've written him a letter. I made a phone call. He doesn't respond. I've sought legal counsel and told by 3 lawyers that it would cost me about $20,000 to have him remove the bushes. The reason I'm coming here today is because I think this is a civic problem, not just my own problem. I've been told by people, lawyers and other officials, that I should just go on to the street and cut the bushes down. Well, I think that's a problem because that's going to ultimately lead to a call from the police to the police department, which is public services, and there's a cost to that. And even though I have the right to do it, I want to try and avoid that kind of a way of handling a situation. I think it's a public concern because if it was to be known that if you own property in a private community in this town and someone could do something as egregious as this, people would be hesitant, and there's nothing that the government can do about it. People would be hesitant to buy in a private community, which would result in the drop of the value of houses. Because by doing this, not only did he block my access to the lagoon, he blocked my view of the lagoon, and when I paid for my house, that was part of the price. I spoke to Mr. Kesikevich, and I asked him a question about what would happen if there was a fire in the lagoon. And I was told that the trucks would run over the bushes to get to the lagoon. Well, as a taxpayer, that'd be a pretty silly solution, that the fire trucks would run over the bushes and be damaged rather than have some way of having the person remove the bushes so that the street would be open as it should be, according to the deeds. Interestingly enough, this week, I got a letter from the Highway Department, and it does say, and I had spoken to Mr. Kesikevich about this, that in an event of an emergency, a snow emergency, the government has the right to plow a private road in order to make the private property accessible to emergency vehicles. So I think there is a way to, and finally, if I turned around and parked my car in the middle of the street, you wouldn't allow me to do that. Why would we allow people to put bushes up to block a street? So it's easy to come to complain, but I think the solution is very simple. The Highway Department can go into these owners and say, we need access to the lagoon if there's an emergency, if there was a boat accident, if someone was drowning. We can't be worrying about knocking down bushes in order to get to people and help them. But if that isn't a way, so I think frankly you could order those bushes down right now based on that snow permission to clear a road. But if not, I was here to ask about a town ordinance. All over the place, towns are passing ordinances that you can't grow bamboo. In Westbury, they passed an ordinance that you can't have a sculpture more than a certain height. Recently, in Islip Town, they passed a restriction on roosters. So it seems to me, and Mr. Kesikevich told me that he would get back to me on this, and hopefully he will. I said to him, is it possible for you guys to pass an ordinance that say you can't block a private street? And so that's why I'm here today, to ask you to do something about this situation. The simple answer is there's nothing that can be done as private property, but all the time we make ordinances that prevent people from doing reasonable ordinances and that prevent people from doing stuff to their private property. And actually, that's protecting private property rights. My private property rights have been taken away by this family, father and son, who live right next to each other, who've literally absconded the property. And I have to do something about it, because if I don't, under adverse possession, somewhere down the road, they may claim I can't use the access to the lagoon, which I have in my deed and I'm allowed to have. So I'm asking you today, if you would ask the Highway Department to take the bushes down, because if there is a snow emergency, they have the right to do it. If you cannot do that, if you would consider and tell me how, I would go about asking you to pass an ordinance that says you cannot block roads in the town of Riverhead, whether it be private or public.
I've had this conversation with you numerous times. You have a remedy. So the statement that others who are in private communities will not want to buy in private communities because there's nothing that can be done is first off, not accurate.
Well-
You do have a remedy.
Well,
The remedy is
the
for
remedy
you.
you're suggesting is legal action. I've
Correct.
consulted 3 attorneys,
Correct.
$20,000.
I
If you knew that the only way you could solve, this isn't a dispute between my fences on 1 foot of his property. This is a public interest. You cannot get to the lagoon unless you go through the bushes.
Well-
And that's the answer that you just have the fire truck roll over the bushes is an offense to taxpayers. So there would be damage to the fire truck in order to get to the lagoon, and that doesn't seem to be an answer. It's a very frustrating answer.
You're talking about something that's very speculative, a fire in the lagoon, first and foremost. I don't know how many vehicles or how many boats are down there.
There's plenty
And
of boats.
I understand you're making a case because you want us, as a municipality, to enact legislation to protect private property interest. State constitution, of course, doesn't allow for the expenditure of public funds with respect to a private individual. And we've discussed that, and I've explained it to you, and I've tried to do it in as cordial
And you
and
have
as,
been.
and as quiet manner as
I
possible.
think I've said that from the beginning.
We've
You're
had
very
2
kind.
cases on point, okay? First was Center Drive. I think the town, Bob, if I'm not mistaken, when all was said and done, that case, eventually it cost us $50,000-$60,000, if I'm not mistaken, to try to, this was a town road somebody blocked, and it cost us a lot of money and effort, and in the end, we didn't even get Center Drive 100% open. There was another street that was I'm not even going to say it was a private street. It might have been open to the public. I don't know. I want to say it was Green Street. We litigated that and lost, and spent a tremendous amount of money and effort to do that. I think it's Green, but I'm not positive. That street was blocked, and that was a street at one point, probably a public road, and we weren't successful in that litigation. The town doesn't have a strong position when it tries to come in and enforce the private property owner's rights over another private property owner's rights. That's really a litigation point that you have to make.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying, but I think it doesn't make any sense to me that there could be a boat accident in that lagoon, there could be a fire in that lagoon.
That could
and
be-
what you're saying is that the response time wouldn't be as good as it could be because there are bushes blocking the road. So I
bushes
guess I have to accept your answer.
The bushes
But what I've
aren't
been
an
told
issue.
by both lawyers and by you guys is that I have a right to go and just cut the bushes down. And so I guess that's the only choice you give me unless I want to spend $20,000. And that could result in some physical altercations.
We talked about that. I don't have your easement in front of me.
Neither do I. I've never seen it. I've never
not
been
giving you
provided
legal
photographs.
advice on that.
Well, first
think
of all,
we
Mr.
can give you
Kessinger,
that
I did
advice.
show it to you when I came to see you in your office.
Yep.
I showed you that, I showed you the bushes, I have it with me, I have the bushes that are blocking the road, I have my deed with me, so.
If you have an easement, you can ask your surveyor to go and mark out where your easement goes out to, and then you can knock on the person's door and say, you're blocking my property, and I'm gonna take down the trees so that I have access to my property. Here's the surveyor, here's the survey, this is my easement, and
Okay.
you're blocking me.
Well, see, thank you for telling me that, and that's why I wanted to hear that today. I wanted to, because before I go and do it, but she's gonna, trust me, because there's been trouble with these neighbors, with other people already.
Well, that was
I
my
wanted to be able to say that the town told me
Yeah.
that I have the right to knock
The
down
town
bushes.
can't-
Your
No,
surveyor-
no, you're
your
not
town
being
can't
told
tell
that
you
advice, sir.
Well,
You're not my client. You've been told that. I represent the town board and the town agency.
Mr. Cassidy,
I don't want,
you said frankly you would cut the bushes down, that's what you told me.
Sir, you're parsing words. I said if my neighbor did it to me, and of course it'd be my brother, I would go over and I would cut down his trees. All right? And then I would deal with my brother.
You're
All
giving me
right?
the answer
Because
that I want.
that's the issue. But I'm not giving you advice. Let me say this clear, sir, because I am not your attorney. I have never represented you. I don't represent you.
And
I
I'd say
represent
you
the
did.
town board, the town of Riverhead, and town agencies. Therefore, I am not giving you advice. You can take away and walk away from this, whatever you want to do. Speak to your own counsel, speak to the counsel that you hired when you purchased the property. I am not giving you advice to do one thing here.
I didn't say
All
anything.
I'm doing is, you asked whether the town would adopt legislation to protect your private singular interest. And I told you that I would ask the board, and the answer is no.
Supervisor Tobin says it's getting interesting now.
Let me just- let me just
We're
say-
gonna end this. We're gonna end this.
I can't say one,
We're gonna-
can I
we're
say
gonna-
one more thing?
Well, we're gonna end this, and here's,
I just want to say
go ahead.
that I came here, and I didn't mean for this to be hostile. I think I started by complimenting you and Mr. Kesakevich, and and it's
Well, by
sad
suggesting
because...
that I'm giving you legal advice, you made it hostile,
No,
sir.
you
I'm
didn't.
sorry.
I didn't say that.
All right, so-
It's very hostile,
okay.
and it's disappointing
Here's
that
what-
this is, I came here as a citizen to try and ask about a problem.
Okay, yeah, we gotta end this, because here's the thing, sir, this is a private property dispute. This is the wrong forum to handle it, the 100% wrong forum. I'm gonna end the conversation.
Okay.
You can speak to the board members individually. Again, I think, as I said, and the other, our town attorney said, you have to seek the counsel, legal counsel, private legal counsel. Thank you, sir. Okay. All right, Supervisor Tobin, would you like to hear any more interesting stories? Okay.
I want to know what you do.
I would encourage him.
Sure about that.
Encourage him.
How about another dog?
Does anybody else, oh, it did die, huh?
It should.
Does anybody else wish to be heard? Not seeing
If
anybody.
not, I'd like to make a motion that we close the town board meeting.
I'll second the motion to close.
Moved and seconded?
Moved in second and vote, please.
Iglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter and Tobin.
Yes.
The town board
Congratulations.
meeting is
Congratulations.
Good,
Thank you.
good.
Slam the gavel.
Meeting over.
Good one. Thank you for coming, everyone. All right.